Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And in today's video I'm gonna go quickly over how you can play proper default setup on Ancient City side. Starting off, mid control. Now mid control is one of the most important things to take control of in the early stages of the game as the cities. And how you want to go about taking control of mid, or like not giving it to the T's in the first place, is just by throwing a deep elbow smoke like so, molotoving straight behind it, and then also toss a nade into the molotov that is intended to slow any T's that might be pushing through it and deal a decent amount of chip damage. Now when you're contesting mid in the early stages of the game, you by default want to send two guys towards mid, and if you don't manage to take mid with just two guys, you can also add a third person, which then turns into your dedicated A main player. And at the start of each round, what you want to do is ideally throw one of the instant smokes towards elbow from spawn, but if you don't know the instant smoke, then it's okay-ish, like it's not ideal, but you can just toss your A main player a smoke into this corner here. He can then again get stuck in this corner, look at the rightmost leaf here, aim a bit towards the right and do a jump throw. This smoke doesn't land as early towards elbow as the instant smokes obviously, but it still gets the job done decently. Next off, the two guys that are by default contesting mid control are supposed to do the following. First guy is gonna pull out his molotov at the start of the round and just toss it against the back wall here, and the molotov is supposed to, obviously the smoke has faded by now, but land right behind the smoke. And after he has thrown the molotov, you usually get on top of this ledge here, and then if you don't get stuck in the textures like I just did, go towards the donut area and immediately pull out a flash and throw it against the upper wall with a jump throw like here, which usually is the perfect timing once a T pushes through here to completely blind him since it pops in this general area here. And the second guy basically just does the same as the first guy, just with an HE, where you want to bounce it against the back wall here and make it explode in the molotov in order to slow any T's and deal some decent chip damage. But instead of going towards the right edge here and going towards donut, you can, you need to assume that there is a smoke down, since the T's are gonna smoke off red room 100% of the time. You can either hide yourself behind this wall here in order to dodge any flashes from the T's and then swing with the flash your donut guy through so that you're contesting lower mid area together. Or you can just, play around the edges of the smoke if the red room smoke is not perfect, like if it lands like so, you can just get on the top right ledge and look towards the wall, dodge any flashes, and together with the donut flash of your donut player you can just push through the smoke and then contest lower mid area together with him. Now what about the other situation I mentioned before, where you are not able to contest lower mid control consistently with just the two of you? Well, the solution is actually quite simple. Instead of, after he's thrown your elbow smoke, the A player just doesn't go towards A side immediately, but rather joins you guys in mid and tosses another nade down mid, or alternatively another molotov next to your molotov. And then again, same as the second guy, just dodge the flashes, and together with the flash of the donut guy, you are now contesting lower mid as 3 instead of 2 guys, which drastically increases your chances. And you're basically guaranteed, if you're playing 3 guys towards mid, to take mid control. Now, if you've taken mid with 3 guys, then the third player, which I mentioned before, is your dedicated A player, and he just wants to rotate back towards A side, and I'm gonna cover later on how you're supposed to play. But for now, let's assume you've managed to take mid control from the T's with just the two of you. And if this is the case, then you want to have one player dedicated towards watching the elbow area of the map and re-smoking it after the first smoke is about to fade. And the second guy is intended to contest the lane area. And in order to do this, the first player can boost the second guy up here, or you can just actually use the boxes at the jump up and stay towards the left side, which means you generally won't really be seen from lane, except the T's are explicitly holding an angle like so, which they shouldn't be if your B players are throwing the correct util. And now remember that state of mid we are currently in, where one player is down here watching elbow, and elbow is smoke, and the other guy, assume him to be in this position. We are gonna continue here in just a moment. But before that, I'm just gonna go quickly over how you can play an aggressive setup towards B that kind of complements what you are doing in mid. And for this, the first guy is supposed to run close towards the left wall here, aim a bit above that thingy here and just toss a Molotov like so, and then rush towards cave. And once you get into this area, you want to get ready to take a fight towards the cave entrance. And this fight generally favors you, since the Molotov you just threw should be doing enough chip damage to any T that might immediately pushing, like if I'm rethrowing it again, should do enough chip damage if someone is running through there that one headshot is actually enough. So the AK isn't really that much more powerful than the M4. And additionally, which is even more important, I'd say, is if someone is pushing the Molotov, you will hear the audio cue that someone is going to contest you. So you can mentally prepare for someone coming for you, while the T won't know exactly if you are going to contest this round or not. And if you hear someone, again, if you hear someone burning, you just get ready for the fight. Generally favors you, one headshot, boom, done. And then you can easily take the rest of cave and get close towards the entrance here, and you just wait until your other mate from mid gets into position. Meanwhile, your second B player is supposed to throw an early Molotov towards B ramp and follow it up with a nade in order to prevent any eventual rushes up B ramp towards B side. And afterwards you kind of want to get yourself in a safe position like so, and just wait until your cave guy and your lane guy are into position. Meanwhile, you can just, like, from here, just jiggle B ramp. It doesn't really matter. If they're smoking the Molotov and still pushing, you can just fall back. You have one guy into cave, and you just need to make sure to not die. But more importantly, if your mid guy and if your cave guy are in position, you can just toss a flash above that thingy like so. And this flash is incredibly powerful, and I'm gonna show you why in just a second. So let's pretend, even if there is nobody in cave and you want to peek lane by yourself as the mid guy, if I rethrow the flash, I can swing lane as wide as I want. I won't get blinded at all. But if we switch perspective, and let's assume I'm now a T that is holding lane or something, and I'm rethrowing the flash, full flash. Extremely hard to dodge. If I'm playing in this position close to the wall and holding for any wide swings, boom, full flash. Can't do anything about it. If I'm playing Kabi and holding for any aggressions, boom, full flash. So my point is, like, even if you have nobody in cave, together with this flash you can just take a quick peek towards lane, potentially get a free frag, and then just fall back towards mid. Or if you have a guy in towards cave, you can both swing and potentially even take all of lane control and then just smoke off doors, which basically invalidates all of the rounds for the T's, and you've basically won the round at this stage already. However, you don't want to be doing the exact same play every round, so you really don't want to peek lane every round, and you don't want to send someone going aggressive towards cave every single round. So this is where different setups on the B side come into play. Let's assume you're not going aggressive towards cave. What you can be doing then is play a neutral setup. And anyways, regardless of which setup you're playing, you always want to throw this Molotov, but if you're not rushing cave, you can also follow it up with a nade that you bounce off this stone like so. That is just then exploding in the Molotov and slowing any T that might be pushing here. And for a neutral setup, you just want to get some information towards cave and some information towards ramp. So the first guy, instead of just pushing cave, you can jiggle this edge here, just go for the information. You can play an off angle like so, get one frag and then fall back towards side. You can play next to the box. If you have, like, if you're on an eco or something, you can play on this box, whatever. The main point is just to get information and ideally get back out alive. And the second guy, obviously, you also want to get some information towards ramp. Utility also stays the same. One Molotov, one nade. That's just poorly thrown, but you get the point. And you can then just play from here. Can just, like, if you're holding this angle, you will see anyone that's, I can demonstrate it real quick, standing on the box right here. So if they're boosting, you kind of have a good angle towards him. You just need to kind of make sure to not play this, I'd say, in the early stages of the round, since especially if your guy is jiggling right here, you won't see anyone that is coming up towards B if he's staying towards the right side of the ramp, which then allows him to potentially peek your cave guy. So I much more prefer to get close into this edge here and then just, you know, ego peek the corner every 5-6 seconds or so. So I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyone there? No. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Peek again. Or what you can be doing instead is, like, if you're not feeling comfortable peeking, you can just go for information jumps like so, just swinging out. And if you see anyone, you can come back here, aim at the bottom of the crack here, do a middle click jump throw, or if you're in front of here, you can just like toss a Molotov against the wall here and smoke off ramp, and then you're fine. So if you're in the later stages of a round and you've burned through your smokes, obviously I've actually failed to mention that before. If you hear any activity towards lane, if you're playing cave, or if you're playing towards long, you can just smoke off ramp and wait out the smoke. However, if you approach the later stages of a game, it is important to like group together with your B-mate and decide, or like not decide, gather some information and take back map control. This basically just means, again, in the later stages of the round, either the B-side player or the long guy wants to group up with the cave guy and you're trying to re-aggress the cave areas and get information towards lane or cave, and then just stay there and kind of give up B-side but play it on retake, or vice versa. Try to do some aggressive plays towards ramp, take the ramp lane area, and then just kind of forfeit cave. Reason being, it is completely fine if you give up B-side, but trade it for either the ramp and lane area or the cave area. Since if you're getting control of cave and the T's are taking control of B over ramp, then a retake is kinda easy if you only need to focus on B ramp, since you can like just toss the smoke like this if you're playing a retake, which then invalidates all of the T's playing from ramp. Or alternatively, if you have ramp control, like I'd say ramp control is even stronger than cave control, since if the guys are coming out cave taking B-side control, you can try to get some cheeky peeks when they're planting the bomb or something. Like if they're planting, you can just get the planter, go back. If you hear the plant sound, you can throw a Molotov, where is it, like so, that lands on the default plant and delay it by a fair bit. And yeah, you can then again, instead of smoking ramp, smoke cave, and basically re-aggress towards B-side from the CT area and from the ramp area, and the T's only can really be in cave or onside, which makes retakes really simple. So lastly, there is only the most exciting role in all of these two CT sides, except maybe the B-side anchor in Mirage remaining, namely your A-side anchor on Ancient. And what you'll be doing at the start of the round is either getting mid control with your teammates, or if you're not taking mid control with them, you want to be going through temple, wait a few seconds, and then smoke off A main. Reason being is, like, at some rounds there might be an orb or something wanting to aggressively peek and try to get a pick on A, and this smoke basically most of the time is going to change their mind, because A side is like really boring by itself and you can only really try to get someone off guard at the start of the round. So if you smoke off A main, they are most likely going back towards mid or any other area of the map instead of just waiting out the smoke. And what you can be doing then is just play positions like behind the box and just chill towards A main, play on top the very left of this edge here, get yourself in a nice position, get a one pick on a T that might be peeking, fall back down, and then try to fall back towards side by molotoving A main or flashing in front of A main and falling back. And the whole reason behind why such, what I like to call stupid positions like the high risk, high reward position up here are going to work on A side Ancient is because it has such a strange dynamic. Like, at most there are two guys, two T's in towards A main that are trying to get a pick on towards A side, and if they pick you off, then the whole T side most of the time plays an execute towards A. On the other hand, there are only just executes or some sort of A rushes where the T's announce their presence or like their intentions way before you have contact towards the A main area. So most of the time, even if the T's are intending to rushing A, there's like a fast CT smoke like so that you will see coming, or a fast donut smoke from spawn that you are also will see coming. So if you see util coming towards A and you're playing this position, you can just Molotov the A main area, flash once, and then just fall back towards side. Boom, you're set. And on the other hand, if there's only one or two T's trying to get a pick at the same time, which is also really rare, most of the time it's just one guy, you're in an isolated 1v1, so you get the pick, and then you're basically free to go. There is like, the T's have at most of the time, one guy towards A main. And this is why positions like this can work. However, I'd advise you to not play such high reward positions to get it right, but rather play something more safe behind big box, where you can like jump spot behind it. You can jiggle towards the right side like so, try to get a pick. You can jiggle towards the left side, and again, your main goal is pretty much only to stay alive as long as possible and delay as much as possible in order for your rotations from the mid players and the B players to come in towards A side in time. And the only important thing left is that in the later stages of the game, it isn't really important anymore to prevent the T's from pushing out of A main here, but rather to just deny them from taking any space that is behind this line here. Like, you don't want them to get towards the bomb side, but if they get all of the area here, that's fine. They still can't plant the bomb back there, so yeah. Basically, you want to fall back towards this position and then potentially get one pick, play defensive behind the box, just wait, give them all of the space they want towards here. Then you usually have a player in towards donut. They can just throw a flash in front of the boxes like so, and together with the flash you can then peek again. And yeah, you just want to be doing shenanigans like this that basically just aim to delay the T's further. Lastly, just make sure to mix up your positions and not play behind big box every round. Doesn't matter if you're jiggling left side, right side or jump spotting, just mix it up. You can also play like in the temple entrance, which was a really strong position in Go, but not so much in CS2 since the lighting has become much brighter. Same goes for this position here. It's an off angle where you aim to catch the T's off guard when they are like clearing big box, no one here, no one here, no one here, and then they swing towards CT or side, and boom, that's the angle you are holding. And another position that is really strong, and some people don't notice, but you can boost yourself on top of this shield here, like so. Like, yes, the movement in CS2 is trash, the clipping is extremely bad, but it's still possible to get yourself up here. And then you can just like play close here, since the T's are 99.9% of the time are going to, if they are going out A main, going close to this wall here. So you want to kind of aim also close to the wall, or if you have an SMG or whatever, you can actively like jiggle towards the entrance, get a frag, fall back, and while you're falling back, Molotov. And yeah, I guess that pretty much sums it up for the A side. So in the end, as always, a short summary. Mid control is the heart of all of your CT map control. You absolutely want to take mid control each and every round. If you don't manage it with two guys, pull your dedicated A player to help you and then rotate him back towards A side. Once you have mid control, one guy is watching elbow, other guy can go towards lane and go for some aggressive peeks in order to try and get a pick on the T's. On B side you can play different setups. You can the cave setup, the aggressive cave setup, where you aim to take lane control. You can play the neutral setup, where you aim to get information in cave and information in ramp, and then just smoke off the accordion entrance. And at the later stages of the round you want to group, like the two B players want to group up together and take space towards the ramp or cave area, and you just want to play B side on retake. For the A player, you won't have much fun in all of the game. It's going to be very, very boring, but someone has to do it. All you want to be doing is like ideally get one pick and then delay the advances of the T's further. If you don't manage to get a pick, that doesn't really matter. Most important thing is to stay alive and delay. And at the later stages of the game, just fall back towards A side and make sure that they can't plant the bomb or advance further towards the bomb site. You can give up all the space in front of A main right up to the temple entrance as long as they don't get the bomb site. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you did get anything useful out of this video, you can leave a like or subscribe for more educational CS content. If you have any further questions, suggestions, feedback or whatever, you can leave a comment and I'll get back to you. And yeah, with that said, I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.